Hello students, my name is Pragati Misra. In our last video, I was discussing about the quasi-linear equation, in which I told you that what is the Lagrange's method to solve a quasi-linear equation, and I have also discussed about the multiplier method that is also used to solve a quasi-linear equation. Today we will discuss about the integral surface passing through a given curve. In this type of question, firstly we have given a function of this form, that is the quasi-linear equation P plus Q is equal to capital R. This is our equation number 1. The general solution for this equation can be obtained by using the Lagrange's auxiliary equation, and after solving we get two constants, that is C1 and C2. I am taking it as u and v because u is the function of xyz, that is equal to first arbitrary constant, and v is the function of xyz is equal to arbitrary constant C2. So in this form we can write the general solution for this equation. Now suppose this equation passes through the curve xt, yt, zt, because this is the topic integral surface passing through a given curve. So in this case, with the quasi-linear equation we have also given a curve, and with the help of this equation we have to write the integral surface for this equation. So if we use the given curve in our solution, that is u of xyz is equals to c1 and v of xyz is equals to c2, we can get the two solutions which are the function of t. The first one is phi of t is equals to c1 and the second one is psi of t is equals to c2. Then by using these two equations we can find a relation between c1 and c2 such that we can get an equation which is the function of only arbitrary constant, and this equation is known as xi of c1 C2 is equals to 0. Then by putting the value of C1 and C2 from equation second, we can get the equation of required integral surface. So now I will take one example to show how to apply this method, then it will be more clear to you. So this is our first example. It says that find the integral surface of the partial differential equation x minus y into p plus y minus x minus z into q is equal to z through the circle z is equals to 1 and x square plus y square is equals to 1. This is the given curve. Firstly we have to find the general solution for this equation, then we can proceed for the integral surface. If we compare this equation with the quasi-linear equation, then p is equal to x minus y, q is equal to y minus x minus z, and r is equals to z. So we can write the auxiliary equation for this equation. So auxiliary equation is dx upon p, that is x minus y, is equals to dy upon y minus x minus z, that is q, is equals to dz upon z. Now we use the multiplier method to solve this equation. If we use 1 1 1 as the multiplier, choosing 1 1 1 as the multiplier, we get, if we use 1 1 1 as the multiplier then and take the sum of these, then the denominator becomes 0 and it is equal to a parameter lambda, then we can get easily the value of first arbitrary constant c1. So I am going to do that, that is dx plus dy plus dz upon x minus y plus y minus x minus z plus z is equals to lambda. Now if we see y get cancelled by y, x get cancelled by x, z get cancelled by z, then we are getting dx plus dy plus dz is equals to 0. And if we integrate it, then we can get the first arbitrary constant. On integrating we get x plus y plus z is equals to c1. So this is our first arbitrary constant. Now we will try to find the value of second arbitrary constant c2. Now if we take second and third ratio, that is dy by y minus x plus z, this can also be written as is equals to dz by z. If we take these two ratios, then it is a little tough to solve such type of equation, so we will use our equation number 1. How we can write x plus z by using this equation? X plus z can be written as c1 minus y. So I will use this equation over here. If I write this equation with the help of this, then this can be written as y minus c1 minus y is equals to dz by z, and this can also be written as dy upon 2y minus c1 is equal to dz by z. Now you can see this is reduced into the variable separable form, then we can easily integrate it, and after integration it gives log 2y minus c1 1 by 2 is equals to log z plus log c2. These two can be taken here, then this becomes log of 2y minus c1 is equals to, if we use the property of log, this becomes z square, and since this is constant, so if we multiply it with 2, then again it becomes a constant, that is c2. So if we use the property of log, then this becomes 2y minus c1 is equals to z square into c2. Now we put the value of c1, that is c1 is equals to x plus y plus z, so we will use it here. It becomes 2y minus x minus y minus z is equals to z square plus z square into c2. Now if we solve it, then we get minus x, y minus x minus z, and this z square transferred to this side, and this becomes c2. So this is our second solution, and this is equation number 2. Since it is given that the given equation passes through the circle z is equals to 1 and x square plus y square is equals to 1, then we can use these equations into the equation number 1 and 2. So if we use it, then by putting the value of z into the equation number 1 and 2, the equations becomes x plus y is equals to c1 and c1 minus 1. Because we are taking z as 1, then this x plus y is equal to c1 minus z, that is c1 minus 1, because z is 1 here. And if we use this z is equals to 1 in this equation, this gives me y minus x is equals to c2 plus 1. So this is our phi of t, and this is our psi of t, and this is c1 and c2. We are not reducing it into the function of t because it is easy to solve as the function of x and y also. So now we will use an identity which is 2 of x square plus y square is equal to x square plus x plus y raised to power 2 plus y minus x raised to power 2, because if we write x minus y, then both of them give same solution. So I can write it as y minus x. I am writing it in this way because I have the value of y minus x. So by using the identity, I can write it as, so now I will use this equation and these two equations in this equation, because it is given that the given equation is passing through the circle x square plus y square is equal to 1, so we can use this. So it becomes 2.1 is equal to x plus y is equal to c1 minus 1, so we can put it. Our aim is to find an equation that is only the function of c1 and c2. If we are able to find that type of equation, then we can easily put the value of c1 and c2 from equation 1 and 2, and we can get the required equation of the integral surface. So our aim is just to reduce this equation into the equation of only arbitrary constant c1 and c2. So this can be written as c1 minus 1 raised to power 2, and y minus x can be written as c2 plus 1 raised to power 2. If I expand it, then this becomes c1 square minus 2c1 plus 1 plus c2 square plus 2c2 plus 1. Now 1 becomes 2 and 2 get cancelled by 2. So what is the equation that is remained? c1 square plus c2 square minus 2c1 plus 2c2 is equal to 0. Now we will put the value of c2 and c1 from equation 1 and 2, then we can get the required equation of the integral surface. So I am going to put that. So c1 is x plus y plus z raised to power 2 plus c2 is y minus x minus z by z square, and its whole square because c2 square minus 2c1. c1 is again x plus y plus z plus 2c2. c2 is y minus x minus z by z square raised to power 2 is equal to 0. This is the required equation of the integral surface. We can simplify it, then we can get the exact solution. After simplifying, we are getting an equation of this form. So this is the required equation of the integral surface. This is obtained by just taking the LCM, and this is so easy, so I hope you can do it. So this is the required equation of the integral surface. This is the equation of integral surface. I hope you guys understand the concept of integral surface, and if you have any doubt you can ask me in the comment section. I hope you like my video, and if you are liking my content, please subscribe my channel. Thank you.